about finding a coping strategy or a mechanism or a number of things that can help you be motivated to move toward taking care of your health? Well, at the top of the list for many, the information we've gathered is journaling. Journaling proves to be very important for people. Music, creating art, connecting with loved ones that appreciate you and not take advantage of you.
Number one, we have to learn to stop people pleasing if we are in the cycle of people pleasing all the time. And there's plenty of resources out there, but myself as a coach, I'm here to help you do that. And like I mentioned in one of our previous calls, it takes time to start focusing back on yourself, educating yourself on this stuff. Once you know this stuff, you become pretty powerful and you're able to identify what is happening in front of you. So staying mindful in these situations, keeping your eyes open, even around the people you think you can trust. So we were mentioning before, like even around family members, they could have flying monkeys coming around, right? Or say you start a new job and you've got a friend who you're really friendly with, and you think everything's great. And then something happens every time you hang out with them, like gossip starts getting spread around or something, and you're not sure why it keeps happening, but you're not sure who it is. So just be wary of who you're telling things to and what you're telling to these people, and then stay wary of like who is spreading the information and who is using it to manipulate you, because it might not be who you think it is. You might, a narcissist and an abuser can easily point out other people around you as being the problem when they could indeed be the problem themselves. So use your own intuition to figure out who the real problem is when it comes to these problem situations. Don't trust who people are saying are the problems. Look after yourself and don't underestimate self-care. And I like to say major self-care, but what we really mean is doing major, minor self-care, if that makes sense. So I want you to do it all the time, but do it in little bursts. So do little things for yourself that are going to keep you going. Don't get yourself to the point of exhaustion. Give yourself that little extra bit of rest. Stop and eat. Stop and, do your morning routines and things like that. Stop and write down your goals. Make sure that you're actually looking after yourself in these ways, because these are ways to help you to get out of that mentality of someone else controlling you. Hold your boundaries strong, especially with people who don't like them. And if all else fails, the best decision in the end is to move away and distance yourself from people who are manipulating you, who you think that might be manipulating you.
Okay,
I just talk a little bit to self-gaslighting, because that's something that
there you go.
happens
All right.
Exactly the same thing, but it's doing
Mhm.
it to yourself. It might be even replaying, and this can happen long after a relationship has ended, is that you replay the same kind of tactics to yourself to try and convince yourself of a different reality, because we go back to that it's too painful to face up to the one that you're actually experiencing. And self-gaslighting is a really common thing. It's a learned behavior, and it sticks for a long time.
What I've learned is that you can either hang on to the pain or hang on to what the pain has taught you. It's like if you cut your arm and you have a scab, you can keep picking at that scab because it kind of hurts good. You kind of keep at it, but when you stop picking at it and let it heal, you can look at it and say, oh, I know about you, or I know who you are. You know, it's that kind about learning when you actually live through the process and learn the lessons that you have to learn. Then you can heal, and as you heal, it's just a scar.
Yesterday I lost the battle, trying at all costs, oh, to keep you, baby. Oh, to keep you, baby. Do-do-do. Now I hurt so bad, all I feel is sad that I lost you, baby. Oh, I lost you, baby. I said goodbye with tears inside, calling out your name as you shut the door behind you. And now I wonder, why won't you come back? Love me, hold me, need me, like the way you used to do, when it was just me and you. Don't go, I need you, I'll never mislead you. Give this love another chance. Take my hand and let me have this dance. Tomorrow is another day, so sit around and waste away without you, baby. Oh, without you, baby. My life used to be in blue, now it's mostly filled with gloom. I miss baby. I said goodbye with tears inside, calling out your name as you shut the door behind you. And now I wonder, why won't you come back? Love me, hold me, need me, like the way you used to do, when it was just me and you. Don't go, I need you, I'll never mislead you. Give this love another chance. Take my hand and let me have this dance.
To me, all of that anxiety of focusing on what happened and what we wish hadn't happened is a form of waiting.
What most of my clients tell me is that I only found out like 5 years in, 10 years in, I only found out once I had left. A therapist told me, well, to me, it sounds like you're dealing with a narcissistic or whatever personality disorder. You know, we are not aware as a society that those disorders exist. So then it happens, oh, the person who says to love me won't treat me like that. I guess it really is my fault. But if we were aware, we would go like, oh, no, hang on. That sounds, yeah,
that's true. We're looking at a situation in which a lot of individuals, many of us, are having our eyes open.
It's kind of a regulation process. You know, it's very, very hard to heal from trauma while you are still in contact with the abuser. That's why everyone says go no contact if you can.
Got it.
Because then at least you have that space and you're not being triggered all the time, all over again. And the reality is that some need to still be in that relationship, that some need to co-parent, that some it's a family member. So the reality is not everyone can go no contact.
Absolutely.
And then you need to see, okay, how do I minimize contact to the max? And then it's a little bit what I said before, grow a container to be able to allow more of the sensations in. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of down regulating the high functionality. It's like shifting priorities from being super high functional to, okay, so I can do this really well. And this I cannot do at all. Okay, so now let's shift priorities.
Yeah.
And you will need time, you will need space. There's many clients who tell me they would just sit in their living room. They would not watch TV, not read, not just be like,
just sit there.
I'm safe.
I can't let you go, baby. I just want to tell you that. No. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care. Cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No. Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, no, no.
And I guess to add to that, I'll just say, what does it feel like to be gaslighted, to be gaslit? I'm not sure how to say that properly, but if you're feeling that you're feeling like you're feeling like I'm crazy, like everything seems to always be my fault, but it doesn't make sense because I'm sure that I did this, but then this person said this, and I don't even know what's real anymore. That feeling to me is probably the situation is gaslighting.
And if you ever feel that you need to record somebody saying something so you can play it back to them to prove what they said, that's gaslighting.
The self-gaslighting. Sorry, Anushka.
No, I was just going to say that it's abuse. Either way you look at it, it's so damaging.
Yes. And the self-gaslighting would look like, maybe I did treat them badly. Maybe I was a bad person. Maybe I was a crappy daughter. Maybe I am such a bad person and I'm not good enough. That's what self-gaslighting sounds like.
Yeah.
And it's often to do with a disconnect from being really authentic with who you are and comfortable with who you are, and getting secure in those core values that you have and your sense of identity. It makes it harder for you to gaslight yourself, because when those thoughts come in, they don't match with the reality and you can move through them.
Not many people realize that when you've been through trauma, it lives within your body as physical symptoms as well as emotional symptoms. So the physical symptoms can be dizziness, can be problems with your gut, can be headaches. It can really, really mess with your system and make you believe that you are really unwell. When I was going through my trauma, I was convinced I was unwell at the end of it. But it was just the unprocessed trauma. Once I had relived a particular memory from the trauma in a therapeutic practice that my wonderful therapist took me through, it felt like for the first time I could breathe, because my chest had been so tight from living in the flight or fright situation for too long. I believe that on social media, it's so closed off a lot of the time. And whilst we're scrolling, we get so wrapped up in what happened in our past. We get embroiled in comparisons and compare ourselves to so many different people. And we've got to remember that what we actually went through, that's something that you may class as an imperfection. You may class it as something that hangs on to your back. But it's a lesson. You can learn from those. And then you can use that and move it on. So it's just looking at things in a different way with a different perspective.
So I wanted to talk about something we all experience, but often struggle to navigate: the power of letting go. Life gets overwhelming. Sometimes it feels like we're carrying so much that the weight of it all just breaks us. Have you been there? And let me tell you, those moments, as painful as they are, often end up being the ones that change everything. Letting go isn't just okay? It's necessary. It's so necessary. And how in the aftermath of all those breakdowns, there's an incredible opportunity for growth. This isn't about perfection or having it all figured out. It's about learning to embrace the messy human process of falling apart so we can rebuild ourselves stronger, regain our self-worth and dignity in the process.
So triangulation, I can jump in on that one, is when they involve another party to try to justify their behaviors, to confuse the situation, to pit you against another person. So maybe, and sometimes they can be totally open. In fact, I've spoken to a lady today who as open as to say, I want you both. And, you know, and it can be in a romantic sense, it can be with friendships, it can be with family members, but they involve other parties to kind of strengthen their position of power over the other people.
Yeah. And yeah, that would include the scapegoating of another person. It's in a family situation with a mother and two daughters. The mother would use one of her daughters to triangulate against the other daughter to say that, or scapegoat against the other daughter, scapegoat the daughter and say that she's such a bad person. So you should stick by me and say that she's a bad person too, because that defends my story, and it makes them feel alone and isolated, which is what they want. That's because they may have been love bombing you, and love bombing is like throwing gifts and nice nice
gestures, romantic gestures. Yeah, making romantic gestures, promises.
Yeah,
and often in that love bombing phase, they are essentially out to gather as much information as they possibly can. And that's often what's underlying that love bombing, is that in the giving, they are taking the responses, they're taking your weak spots, you know, what works, what doesn't work. And that way it can all start to be used against you once you move into the next phase of abuse, which inevitably comes after the love bombing one. And it can take months, it can take years before you come out of the love bombing phase. But when they subconsciously, maybe consciously, who knows, deem it to have kind of got to the point where you are so under the spell, then they can move into that next phase of manipulation.
Yes, that's a really good point, Eve, actually. And then actually what happens, this sets the foundation for the trauma bond. This is the beginning.
The love bombing does?
This is the bit we're trying to
sets the tone?
Yeah, this is the bit we're trying to get back to, because it's the side of the cognitive dissonance which sets all the expectations of the behaviors, so that when future behaviors don't match a belief that we've formed about that person, we experience this sense of cognitive dissonance. And in that moment, we've got this deep tension that we have to resolve. And the way that we do that often is through things like self-gaslighting, where we try to adjust our behavior or take responsibility so that it would eventually change their behaviors to match that person they were at the beginning again.
Yeah. So in the love bombing phase, they'll say things. So after the love bombing phase, they'll say things like, if it's like you're bringing up the behavior, they'll be like, how dare you? Like, I did all these things for you. Like, I can't believe after everything I've done, like how you can say this and blah, 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 like make you feel really guilty and ashamed for saying anything, because look at how much I've done. Look at all the love bombing I've thrown on you, because that's the purpose. It's to control you in a particular way.
There is no way for a person to know all of this when they meet someone right away. Yes or no?
No. There isn't a way to know it all, but there is a way to cultivate strong boundaries, to be in touch with your intuition, to trust that you will pick up on other people's energies and other people's intentions. And if you have got a secure sense of self, if you've got an ability to self-regulate, then you will not be looking outside for validation, and they are less likely to get in, and they're less likely to receive supply from you. And then they often will take themselves past and to somebody, unfortunately, that will give them the supply. They won't hang around for long if they can't get it, because they're life force.
Yeah, it's actually a great point to make. You can't know straight away. One of the things I work with people who come to me after their relationships ended is to kind of get themselves if it's a relationship, I should add, if they've been in a narcissistic romantic relationship and they're looking for a new one, one of the things I help them do is to really start to work with their body and their own gut feelings and their own intuition, so that they can feel when something is right, or a person is potentially dangerous. So you can learn those things. Unfortunately, we usually don't learn them until after things have gone the wrong way, and then our nervous systems are super on edge and primed to notice those signs. Yeah.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to educate our children about these things, that they have strong boundaries, because then they can have this knowledge, you know, in the formative years that we probably didn't get.
The whole purpose is for, well, everyone to know that there's help out there. You're not alone. You are desired and have value, and you are and have been enough the whole time. They have not been enough. They were cowardly and could not tell you to your face, I am not enough. Goodbye.
Every time I close my eyes, I see your smile in the morning light. And girl, every time I hear that song that we used to call our own, it all comes back again. I don't understand it, somehow I didn't see. It took me far too long to realize that I take your love for granted. It's a possibility. Now all that I have left are memories. Won't you come back again? Baby, we could try again. We could try again. Come back again. I don't wanna play no game. Maybe you should come back. We could try again. Oh, I wish I realized we were in paradise. And now, every time I fall asleep,